Step into days and that shit's so wild, where chaos rules and sanity's exiled. Tech toys and gadgets fill the air. Superheroes talk without a care. In this realm of wires and light, late night sessions feel so right. Insanity's dams we all embrace, a smile found on every face. Dave's Dimension, here we roam, a place where minds can freely comb. Second toys blend in the fray, superheroes light the way. Dave's Dimension, here we roam, a place where minds can freely comb. Second toys blend in the fray, superheroes light the way. Unbox the wonder, see them shine. Every spark a moment in time. Gadgets speaking in mystic tones. Dave's world where the unknown's known. Chaos reigns with vibrant glee. Insanity's harmony set us free. From gadgets grand to heroes tall, Dave's Dimension answers the call. Dive deep into the pixel sea, unveil secrets so free. With techniques the fantastic scroll, Dave's name echoes in the hall.
Hey guys, welcome back again to Tuesday Night Talks. Welcome back again to Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. And of course, your home for tech, toys, and talk. So, we got a few things we need to go ahead and go through tonight. Yes, if you notice, the background is a little bit different. The workbench is a little bit of a mess. The dimension is in a little disarray because we're in the process of reorganizing. I liked how the garage shelving worked out on this side of the room. So if we yanked out the white bookshelves, went for some deeper shelving. So I got the Proton packs, both, with all my gear right there. This is pretty much the entire GB collection is right behind me right there. We moved the Back to the Future collection over. Everything you see on one shelf was actually taking up about 3.5 shelves on a white bookcase. So 24 inches deep and about 40 inches wide. Tons of space. I still have to clean up some of the wiring. And if you notice, yes, I have a lot of space. I have a lot of stuff that's in totes that I need to reorganize. So you'll see that on a future episode. But guys, it's Mondo time. Your boy went in on a Mondo figure. Not just any Mondo figure. I went in on a 1/6 scale Mondo figure. Yeah, that's right. Potential contender for Hot Toys? Arguments could be made. It's not a... It's Hot Toy. It's a 1/6 scale, but... Well, you guys are going to have to make your decisions yourself. I have not opened it up. The most I've done is cracked open the top box, and when I saw this right here, when I saw the little corner brackets that they put in here to protect the corners of the box, I said, hold up, wait a minute. Hot Toys, why don't you guys do this? Hot Toys 3.0. This is my first Mondo, and if this is a standard for Mondo figures, I don't know. We might have to have words. We might have to have talks. And by the way, if anyone wants to jump in and join the conversation, the link is in the description below, so go ahead and click on that and jump on in. You have a mirror on. Text is backwards. Yes, I do have a mirror on. I was trying something a little different, David. David says, awesome sound. AI intro? No, those are video clips that I got from different resources. Some of them were from Canva. I did the free trial on Canva. I downloaded a lot of their elements and actually threw that together using CapCut. Now the song is AI created, and if anyone out there wants a little tidbit, there's a great website called Suno, Suno, where you can make your own theme songs. You can create your own AI created songs. You type in what you want to use as the lyrics, or you want to type in the different music styles. You can create your own music. I have a whole separate video about that, and I even talked about that on a separate stream. Now, we're going to go ahead and fix that camera real quick. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Can you read the text now? X-Men, the animated series. Yes, we went in on a Mondo X-Men figure. Now, those who know me know what this is already, but now I ordered this on Entertainment Earth, and the great thing about Entertainment Earth is anybody and their grandmother can apply for affiliate status, so that if they have an in-stock item, you can grab the URL, you can grab the text, and you can actually get 10% off regular priced items. So I got 10% off of this. So it was kind of a no-brainer. But I like the fact that they throw, I mean, this is not super, super high quality, but it's cool that they throw these little corners in here to protect the box when it's being shipped. Let me see if I can get the camera to see. I know what I need to do. Second camera mode. There you go. David says, I remember Canva. They were cool, fun. Thanks for the info. Yep, text is good. So, there you are. It's cool that they, I mean, this is not like something you would see like when you're buying furniture and it's being shipped. But the thought that they throw in a cheap, flexible plastic corner in to protect this, I think is pretty damn awesome. And now I have something for my cats to play with. There you go. Yeah, and David, what I actually do in this, this is going to be kind of a shadiness. For the free trial, which usually runs about a month, all you need is an email address to do that. So, I mean, you could create 2 or 3 different junk emails. And what you do is you just switch between those emails to do the trials, and you can download a lot of their because they'll have like high definition type, what's the word I'm looking for? Not accessories, but they'll have elements that you can download that are high quality. Now, this is one of my favorite X-Men of all time. And yes, we do have more brackets in the bottom of this box. I'm going to set the shipper down. So yeah, we went in on Gambit. We went in on Gambit because, of course, he's going to mecha down for himself. But we also went in on him because he was always one of my favorites in the original X-Men series. Let's take a look at this. Ultra Carzil says, anyone got anything new last week? Well, I got this. I got this last week, and I held off on opening it up because I wanted to do it during a live stream. I wanted to open it up with you guys so you guys can get my honest to goodness, godness feel for my impression on Gambit, because he's going to make a name for himself. So yeah, we picked up this. He says, Ultra Carzil says, I finally ordered Marvel Legends Wolverine in uniform from Deadpool and Wolverine. He'll look badass with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't have Logan from Deadpool and Wolverine. I still need to get him. I have the anniversary Logan. I have the cinematic reissue of Logan from Origins. I just don't have him yet. I need to get him at some point. But let's take a look at this. This is my first Mondo acquisition, even though I bought it on Entertainment Earth. It's Mondo. It still counts. But let's just take a look at this. They wrap it just like, when you get like a Hot Toy or 3-0, any other 1/6 scale. You get nice wrapping, but take a look at the box art right here. We get that animation, or I shouldn't say that animation style, but we get that storyboard comic book look right here. And we get the X-Men. I mean, this looks like it's a comic book cover itself. And of course, we get Gambit as he appeared in the original series, originally voiced by Chris Porter. And this is just awesome. Of course, we get our X-Men branding on the side here, and on the back again we get more. Just slide this right off here, guys. We get more artist renderings of Gambit. Now, I don't know if this is just from the comic books or if this is stuff that are these actual sketches that they used when they were making Gambit for this figure. I mean, this looks amazing. I want to say that they grabbed this from X-Men 97 because we get Gambit with his bandana and his shorts when he was playing basketball. You know, because you're going to make a name for yourself. So let's take a look at, we got some of the credits right in the back here. Comic concept design and sculpt by Alex Brewer. Paint by Tom Rozowski. Packaging art by Dan Vessenmeyer. Packaging design by Grab. There's all this stuff on here. This is not a toy. This is not a toy. This is a collector's model right there. You gotta love that right there, man. Let's take a look here. Ultra Carzilla says, now only he'll look awesome with Marvel Legends Tobey Maguire, but he will look badass killing a ton of Cobra Troopers and Vipers. He's talking about the Wolverine he picked up. You, my friend, are very lucky for picking up that Wolverine. Again, I'm on the lookout for him. I'm hoping, I put the call out a couple weeks ago that if any of my friends come across him to let me know, because I do need Wolverine. I have Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine. He doesn't come with gold guns, but I am going to paint his Desert Eagles. It's a thing I have to do. So, there we are. He says, I will not get the version of Wolverine in civilian clothes, as I can just put the unmasked head on Wolverine uniform figure as on the jacket of Wolverine in his X-Men Origins Wolverine body. That's what I actually did with the X-Men 97 Wolverine. I took the extra head from civilian Wolverine and I stuck him on the X-Men 97 body. It was a placeholder because they didn't announce the figures for X-Men Wolverine yet, so yeah. So what do you say, guys? You want to get right on into this? I think we need to get right on into this. Wait a minute, is this a sleeve? Let me see here. Oh, this opens up. Hey now. Very cool. We got the Remy Etienne Lebeau is the most mysterious of all X-Men. Okay, I'm doing the voice without even trying. Born among primitive Cajun gangs of thieves and assassins, Gambit's burning eyes mark him from birth as possible savior, tribal peacemaker in this mystical ritual world. But when faced with an arranged marriage and a dark future, Remy fled. Seeking a new direction, he soon found himself accepted by a growing family of fellow mutant outcasts. Okay, I'm going to just say by regular voice here. Professor Charles Xavier's X-Men, but how accepted is he? When faced with crisis, can he be trusted? Wolverine doubts him. Rogue loves him, yet Time Traveler Bishop calls him traitor. Every woman he meets wants him. He's dangerous. He seems so self-assured, but is he truly? What is he hiding from? His teammates or from himself? Gambit's power can make anything he holds build with kinetic energy until it explodes. But finding the piece he's looking for seems to be just beyond his grasp. Eric Lewald and Julia Lewald. There you go. And there we have him right there in the box. He looks badass in the box, man. Now, I'm not a fan of cell shading, but I make an exception for this. The Mondo figures really look great when it comes to cell shading for some reason. I don't know what it is. I truly, absolutely, positively do not. And speaking of Mondo, what do you say we just pull Mondo up? Let's go to screen share. There we go. And we're going to load that up. So there we go. Here's Mondo's website. Now, of course, they got some killer interpretations of the Masters of the Universe figures. We go Buzz Off. I mean, each of these are, and these are all 1/6 scale. So if you're a fan of 1/6 scale, I mean, they have no shortage going on here. 265, but look at all the damn accessories you get with him. That's the thing. They give you accessories. I mean, you got his lance, you got an axe, you got multiple sets of hands, you got a shield, you got a short axe, you got 1, 2, 3 alternate heads, you got the wings. I know a lot of people have been craving and raving about this guy. He looks badass. If I was collecting Masters of the Universe, you know, I might be tempted, but currently I am not. I still have my Revelations collection, but I kind of put that off to the side. Of course, we got Bane from Batman the Animated Series. He comes with his stands. We get like a crushed batarang. We get little dumbbells. We got 1, 2, 3 different sets of hands and 2 alternate heads for $220. Still, that is something to be said about. Breaking the Bat's back. There you go. But that's the thing. It seems like Mondo's offerings, they look amazing just by the pictures. I mean, just by the pictures alone. And of course, you guys know I went in for the Ghostbusters figure. Not at 1/6 scale, but 1/12. But Mondo has everything and anything you possibly want. You want some elite vinyl, they got you covered. You want all different kinds of collectibles, they got you covered here. Now, full disclosure, I have no affiliation, no connection with Mondo, but I said, you know what? Gambit's been one of my favorites. So I say we go in. And what happened was I got a really good deal. After tax and shipping, I only paid about $205. Now, I do know someone who got a much better deal than I did, but he grabbed Gambit very, very, very early, so he was able to do that. Now, again, if anyone is watching, please let me know if you have any Mondo figures, and if so, what Mondo figures do you have? And how pleased were you when you first unboxed them? And are you still pleased with them to this very day? I'm curious. I need to know. Now let's just take a look at the promo image that they did for Gambit. There we go. Okay, so they have a timed and then just a regular scale figure. What I got was the regular scale figure. So these are all the accessories we're going to have here. We get multiple collars. We get the Thieves offering. We get a charged effect where he's shooting out 3 separate cards onto the hands. We get a separate card where he can just be holding up the card, you know how he do. And take a look. We get effects where like he's playing with the cards. A little snap effect. 1, 2, 3 alternate sets of hands. Then, of course, obviously stock hands. You can see this is the cell shading. I've never been a really big fan of it. I've seen Marvel do their attempt at cell shading. I've never been a big fan of this, but I think just on looks alone, they made him look fantastic. So I think Mondo might have cracked the cell shading code, so to speak. Because I know Toddy Mac, the McFarlane figures, he's been doing the DC Multiverse, and he's been doing like his form of shading, and I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of that. I really am not. Okay, there you go. I'm going to set the box aside. Oh, take a look at this right here. Okay, how are we going to get this off? I might have to do some cutting here. So we get his stands, we get his bow staff. Yep, I think I'm going to have to do some more cutting. But take a look at this promo image though that they have there. We get him with his hair tied back. We get him with a grin. But of course, it starts off with that stoic kind of look, like he's ready to do some business. You know? Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut into this. So we get the tied box. We get this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut into that. I'm gonna set that aside for right now. Check and see if we got any tape. No, I think it's just stuck together. At least I think so. Oh, we got this, got a little, let me just remove this. So right here we got a little bit of a secured, it's not like a rubber band, it's like a very secured band. That was holding this down. We got a nice little plastic. There we go. Set that off to the side. We get a nice little plastic protecting them. Let's take a look at some of the hands right here. So here's a hand with the cards bending. Let me see if I can get a nice little. That looks awesome right there. Of course, we have the mutant gauntlets. Which they do have a Jubilee, so I think that's kind of like where some of this is from when they're on Genosha. We get the mutant collars. I like they got this clear plastic, but it looks like he's shuffling up the deck from a distance. I like that. That is sharp, and this is solid, man. This does not feel flimsy. This feels nice and solid, and I like how we get the opaque, we get the translucent, but then we get the white line showing as if cards are being shuffled from one side to the other. Oh, this looks bloody fantastic. Now, I really wish they would have shown cards instead of a silhouette, if you know what I mean. And I'm sure with a very good airbrusher or very good artist, you could probably fake that. It's just that they make this look a little more translucent than it should. These should look like charged cards, but still, the effect is pretty damn amazing right there, guys. I mean, what they did with the palm of the hand, the energy, as if it's surging right off, I think they did a pretty damn good job with that right there. Take a look at the smiling kind of green. Ho ho. I think they did a damn good job. The coloring on here, it's like he's got a little bit more reddish highlights going through his hair. Again, it's kind of like that cell shading look, but I think they did a pretty damn good job with him right there, guys. Of course, we get Remy with his night attire, you know, without his side mask, where he's got his hair all set up for a night out with Rogue. Oh man, he's got heft. Oh jeez. Our boy's got some heft. He's pretty damn solid, man. I mean, he's definitely got some weight. Just to show you guys right here, let me see if I can get a little zoom in action going on. But yeah, he's pretty hefty, man. I'd say he feels heavier than a hot toy. Now we do have some movement here. Now the jacket is that thick it's kind of a heavy rubber. It does have a little bit of play with it, you know. It's still loose enough. Let's see if we can get a little zoom action going on. There we go. I think that's about as much as we're going to get there. The head's got some nice rotation here because you got the collar of the coat right there. You know, we got some good leg movement right here. Feels nice and solid. Doesn't feel like I'm going to break anything. And that's been my fear of Mondo. I don't know the quality of it, but I mean, right now. Now there are no holes for his feet. So if you're trying to do something like maybe as if he's crouching down, you're gonna have to get a little creative, shift some weight. You know, but that's also why we have the stand here. And personally, I plan to have him holding a card in one hand and doing his blast effect with the other. But they did a damn good job with Gambit. They did a damn good job with Gambit. I've been thinking about getting Cyclops, and I think I might have to. Now, of course, on the bottom of the feet, we have our Mondo branding on one foot, and our Marvel Made in China serial number on the bottom of the other foot. It would have been cool if we had, I don't know, a way to peg his foot down. And you don't have to worry about any kind of toe crunch. He doesn't have that, but his foot does bend quite a bit. So I guess if we wanted to do kind of like a little fighting action, you know, we could have Gambit doing a little bit of fighting action. There you go. But the shading on here, I think the shading looks fantastic. This is the kind of shading I wish Marvel Legends would try to do. Now, I myself, there's only one cel-shaded figure I actually have, and that's Morph. Because that's the only Morph figure we really have. I know arguments will be made that there are technically other Morphs, but the more recent, the VHS box Morph, is probably the best one I could get for the pricing. But he looks fantastic. Gambit looks fantastic. I mean, the details, the cuff of his jacket right there, the shading on here looks phenomenal. In my opinion, I would say Mondo has broken the shading code, the cell shading code. I don't think there's any way to argue that. Unless you can show me something better, I really don't think there's any other way to argue that. But he looks bloody fantastic. Okay, so this is his right hand. Okay, right hand pops out without problem. Okay, that's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and now, I guess if you really force it, you can try and take the coat off. But again, his arms are his arms. You're not going to get anything else underneath here. Let's see, what's going to be a good way to... I'm going to have to figure out a nice way to pose him. You know? Let me take a look at their website. How are they posing him when he's doing that blast? Oh, it looks like he's doing a jump effect. So he's kind of like... Let me see if I can zoom back out again. Sorry, guys. So we can do as if he's, you know, We're going to have to do something where like he's doing this kind of like jumping up, but he's going to have the staff in his other arm. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to do with the stand, but he looks fantastic. This looks like a phenomenal figure. I mean, you really... This is my first Mondo, and I think this is a hell of a Mondo figure to start off with. I went with 1/6 scale, but the effect on here. Now, the camera is not doing it justice. I mean, this looks like a solid color. You can't see the different color shading that I'm seeing here. Let me see if the website will do any better. See how it kind of lights up? And that's really how I think you gotta have the right kind of lighting. I think we need like I don't know if it's a white lighting, but I think you need like maybe kind of a purple or a reddish light on one side and a bright white light on the other, and I think this will pop even more. But this looks phenomenal in person. This looks phenomenal in person. I mean, yes, his leg does articulate like that. And obviously, you're going to have to, you know, here's one thing. You can actually bend the coat. Let me just move this over here. No, I can't. Let me hide that. So we can bend the coat behind his legs. You know, kind of like this. So that you get more of, one, it makes the coat look like it's flinging back like there's winds. But you can also have more presence with his legs. You know? I mean, I'm going to have to play around with him because, one, like I said, he's got some heft to him. He feels nice and solid. I'm not going to say a chunky boy, but he's got heft to him. I don't have any concern as if something's going to break. I've had a few Super 7 Ultimates where I felt like things were going to break, but not on him, man. Not on him. Let's just take this out. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Oh, this should be good. Take the other hand off. Let's see what hands do we want. I mean, we could do. We got Gambit playing with his cards right here. He looks phenomenal, guys. If you were on the fence about Mondo, get Gambit. You will no longer be on the fence. I think if you're someone who's like, oh, I'm not too sure about Mondo, this figure has squashed any reservations I've had. I mean, this is beyond phenomenal. Now, mind you, we still have all these accessories to get out here, too. We got a charged up card for his hand. We got these hands right here. We have the stand. Sorry, my mic's cutting out. I mean, this is phenomenal. What do you, anyone in the audience, anyone who's watching right now, let me know what your thoughts are about this. Would you get Gambit? Or is there another X-Men figure you think you would love to have as your first? I'm kind of curious, man. Let me know. Let's see. If we put this one in. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. And what I like is they actually put Mondo on the cards. It actually says Mondo on here. That is awesome. Let's see if I can bend his hand. Now these don't match perfectly up here. I wish there was a way I could. Maybe if I were to... Almost, yeah, I mean, it can almost look like he's jumping the cards from one end to the other, but this looks phenomenal, guys. This is phenomenal. Oh, here we go. We got the Lurker Extreme. Dre the Dad collector, or the collector dad. We got Dre popping in. Dre, he is friggin' phenomenal, and I think I'm in trouble. He feels so damn solid. He's got more heft to him than a Hot Toy. At least any of the Hot Toys I've held so far. I mean, he's got some toughness to him. He feels nice and solid. I don't have any concerns about him possibly breaking. He looks fantastic. He looks friggin' phenomenal. Sorry guys, allergies and sinuses. Let's go ahead and get this open. Box does not open. Oh, we even get a little bit of cell shading on the staff here. Very nice. Again, they gave a single card that he could be holding in his hand, but again, it's transparent, as you guys can see. I really wish that would have looked like an actual card, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. He is a phenomenal figure. For the price I got him, he is amazing. Even if you get him for full price, he's easily worth it. Move that out the way. I mean, all the different hands here, the detail on them are phenomenal. See if I can. There you go. These hands look fantastic. Of course, we get some fists. See if I can find a hand that will hold this. I mean, this one holds it pretty good. And I just kind of like put this right in here. And this, we get a very cool kind of like shimmer effect right there. We get a little silver highlighting right there. Give it a little glimpse. A little shimmer. But he looks friggin' phenomenal. Let's take this card hand off. We'll pop this hand back off. Sorry, my microphone keeps shorting a little bit. I mean, how could you say no to that? How could you say no? Let me just switch cameras real quick. I mean, he looks friggin' phenomenal right here. Rotate this a little different way. Now, I'm going to have to set up the stance so I can get him in that one pose. But, I mean, he looks phenomenal on this, guys. The cell shading on here is the best I've seen in any figure ever. I highly recommend getting him if you can. Hey, Megadan Collects is in the chat. Everyone's saying hello to everybody else. Now, I know Dre has Gambit, and Gambit is friggin' just fire. Literally just fire. I mean, this looks phenomenal. I can't wait to set him up on one of the shelves with some very extra lighting on him. I mean, he stands by himself. He's solid. You get him in the right pose, he looks phenomenal. He really does. There's no... I mean, take a look at this. This is how they show him off on their website. I mean, you can do that little side pose. Again, the right lighting is going to make this look more orange like it does in that picture. You know? Just kind of extend his arm out a little bit. You know? Raise the arm up. You know, something like this. So that right there, let's just go ahead and we'll hide that again. Make this big. And there we go. We got that pose right there. Again, it has to do with the right lighting. The right lighting, the right shading. And also having a diorama that's 1/6 scale would definitely help as well. I do want to get something like that because I have a bunch of 1/6 scale, you know, Hot Toys in 3.0 that are 1/6 scale, and I really would love to have some kind of a backdrop. So, I mean, I know Duffman makes some amazing stuff, and there's a lot of other guys out there who are making amazing dioramas out there. I mean, look at this. You got him and Magneto. We know what they're fighting over. I mean, how could you not want Gambit? Gambit is one of the smoothest, coolest, baddest X-Men ever. And, of course, you know, we lost him in X-Men 97. I met a... Oh, Megadan says, I met a former NFL player at my local Wawa deli last Wednesday. Former Green Bay Packers, Mike Daniels. Okay, cool. Nice. But, guys, what do you think about this 1/6 scale Mondo? I think he looks friggin' phenomenal. I just gotta find the right pose for him. Now, do we have rotation in... Not much rotation here. Not much. A little bit. We have a little bit. But that also has to do with the torso here. His outfit doesn't really allow for a whole lot of movement. But he looks friggin' phenomenal. He really does. You know? I mean, this is definitely... I was worried that, like, oh, is he going to break? You know, what kind of quality is he going to be when I get him? But he is phenomenal. I almost wish there was a little bit of toe crunch here. Almost. You know? I mean, your fighting poses you will have some limitations here. But even him just standing in a fighting pose looks insane. You know? Like we could have him with his arm extended, like he's about to do a move. After he slings his cards, like he's about to bring his staff back around. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we can do with him. But he looks badass. He looks badass, and I'm sorry, but he actually puts his Marvel Legends doppelganger to shame. Now, I am thinking of posing the Marvel Legends Gambit with him, but oh man, he looks badass by himself. He really does. Oh, 100% Megadan. This is one killer figure from Mondo, and this is 1/6 scale, so this is like Hot Toys level. Just the sheer amount of accessories that they have here. Let's go ahead and now the one shame here is that this stand is just flat. It's flat, but for now. Oh, you heard me right, guys. I have ideas. I have ideas of sprucing this up just a wee bit. Now, of course, this is your typical, crotch grabber, if you will. Not the greatest quality, but since he stands on his own pretty well, you really don't need a whole lot of work here. You don't really need a whole lot of work here, but he looks phenomenal. You get a lot. I mean, you do have some pretty good head mobility here. He can look up somewhat. Give you guys the view right here. So yeah, I mean, he can look up somewhat, not too much. That's about as high as you'll get. You have him looking to the sides. But they did a damn good. I mean, take a look at the face sculpt, the artwork, and I mean the red in his eyes. I mean, they did a great job. And again, we have the Grinning Gambit, which I think is the one I'm going to go with. And we also get this like civilian going out, being all GQ, with his little ponytail in the back. Head comes off perfectly fine. You don't have to have a lot of force. Let's go ahead and maybe a little bit of force to get the head back on. But there we go with the grinning smile, because it's Gambit. But he looks fantastic. I just gotta find the right pose for the view that I'm gonna have him in. Straighten out the leg a little bit. Now, here's the thing. I am half tempted to 3D print something to adorn onto the stand itself, because as you guys saw, this is a pretty basic, pretty flat stand. I'm tempted to do some, maybe paint the side here, maybe print an X to go on here somehow. Those are just a few ideas I have. Maybe do some coloring on here, because I want to make it pop. I want to make it pop somehow, I mean, this is Gambit. He's going to make a name for himself. Maybe if I can get that somehow printed on like a decal. See here. I'm gonna add some of the hands real quick. Let's take the staff out. Can we get the... Will that fit in there? No. So I'm gonna have to find another hand. a left hand that can hold that. I don't think we're gonna find one. Yep, so it's gonna have to be his staff. I was hoping we would have a left hand that could hold that charged up card by itself, but we're not gonna have that there. But he looks friggin' phenomenal. I mean, right there, I mean, how much more badass can you get? He looks phenomenal. This is... Whew. This... Dre, that list that we have of pickups of the year, I might have to revise. But we get some pretty awesome accessories. I mean, from the heads, and the heads are nice and solid. I mean, it's definitely a rubber, but they're nice and solid though. Hey, we got creativity. My man, you just missed me unboxing Mondo X-Men 97 Gambit 1/6 scale. He is a must. He is a must-have. There's no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Mondo, from their packaging to the amount of detail that they put in their packaging, I'm on sensory overload. I'm going to do a short video talking about Gambit, showing him off, showing the accessories off. But the amount of damn detail that they put into the box. Hell, right in the box, they had these plastic corner brackets covering each corner of the actual box itself. Not, the box that's inside the shipper. They put these little cheap, inexpensive corner brackets to protect the box when it's shipping. I've never seen Hot Toys do that. I've never seen 3-0 do that. So Mondo, and these are cheap plastic. I mean, you can see that this stuff bends. It bends. But they're taking something that's pretty inexpensive, pretty cheap, throwing it in there, and it's making a world of difference for the shipping. Okay. The box itself, they friggin' killed it with the storyboard art here, making it look like a comic book. And then the back, some of the sculpting. I mean, come on. They friggin' killed it on the box alone. The accessories, let's just go over the accessories once more with feeling. I mean, we have, aside from the head he has on right now, we have two alternate heads. We got this Gambit going out at night. Got his little dinner party ponytail going on. We got the more stoic, ready for a fight. Right now we got the grin Gambit. We get an accessory as if he's shooting his cards across, playing his deck of cards. We get the left hand rocking a deck of cards, and they're actually Mondo. How awesome is that? We get some Genosha mutant collars, power dampening mutant collars right here. We get his Tide from the Thieves. We get this charged up card, because you got to charge up the card. And we get a whole mess of his hands here, and then we get his staff. We get him shooting that nice energy effect where he's blasting 3 cards away with his kinetic energy. And this is how to do cell shading. I've never been a fan of cell shading, but this friggin' kills it. They friggin' killed it. This is my first Mondo. This is not my only Mondo. I'm gonna have to get more. Rabbit Hole confirms this is a major go, guys. This is definitely something. If you're an X-Men fan, and hell, if you are a Gambit fan just like me, it's something you have to get. You definitely have to get this. This is phenomenal. This is a gateway drug for me. I got this before I got a Ghostbusters figure from Mondo, I was worried about the Ghostbusters figures from Mondo, the 1/12 scale. Now I don't have any concerns whatsoever. I'm definitely getting Peter Venkman, obviously. But now, what else should I get now? Now that I got Gambit, let's throw this away, okay? And let's bring the website back up, okay? Let's just type in X-Men, right? And once again, if anyone wants to join the chat, if anyone wants to join me on screen, all you gotta do is click the link below and hop on in. I mean, we get. Oh, take a look at this. I mean, they got. Oh, what the hell, man? Let's take a look at the effects. So for Cyclops, Cyclops is 240, right? He's 240, but take a look. We get 1, 2 alternate heads, limited edition accessories. We get this super mega blast that he's got going on. You got the shades, or you got the visor. You got the old school, or you got him with, you know, obviously this is where the shades go on, or you got him with his glowing red eyes. We get a screaming Scott. We get another Scott right here. We get alternate arms and a jacket, so you can have him rocking a jacket. I think you kind of have to have him rocking a jacket. We got his little beverage here. We got his alternate handsets. We get a visor that actually this energy blast actually pegs into. We get the energy charging up like he's getting pissed off at Wolverine, and then we get that multi-blast effect. I mean, for 240, I can't say that it's not worth it. I can't say that it's not. It's definitely worth it. I mean, the cell shading alone, I think they did a damn good job with Gambit, and taking a look at Scott, I think they did a good job here. This looks proper, and I like the fact that they do this rotation so you can see, you know, how well he looks. Okay. I mean, damn. Oh, right now he's sold out. Okay, that's the limited edition one. So we're gonna click notify. Dave's Dimension, of course. Thank you. Okay, so let's go back. Now they have this more classic. Oh, well, these are all sold out. So my best bet is going to be this. I'm going to be looking elsewhere. Okay, here you go. You got the regular Cyclops 1/6 scale. Now it doesn't have the jackets, but for $220, we still get all the other effects here, and he is available right now. So I could actually do that right now. Oh, this is a pre-order. When does it ship out, though? That's the thing. I don't want to see when it ships out. There you go. You got him get a little fist bump from Rogue. I don't know how I feel about this sculpt of Rogue. The face. The face just looks, I don't know, looks a little off for some reason. And that's the thing. You can get like a little puck light with some red. Some little ruby red quartz. Give it a nice little effect. We got Wolverine. We get Jubilee. I mean, to me, my X-Men. You know, obviously that's what he's saying. Come on. This looks friggin' phenomenal, guys. It really does. Really, really does. They got the Wolverine here. I'm curious to see what accessories Wolverine comes with. There we got Jubilee. And I like that they get rid of the multicolor sparkler effect right there. We got her with her beverage. What is that? Some kind of like chili fries, I think. So we get these energy effects right here. We also get this massive blast effect right here. A little sparkle, of, you know, sparking right off the tip of her finger. Of course, we get her with her bubble gum. Her with like she's talking, and of course, her being all business with the ruby shades down.
whoever they have doing the promo photos, that person needs a raise, because these are some great photos here. These are just displays, but like this right here, that looks phenomenal. Going with a little bokeh effect where we get the focus in the center, but everything else is blurred. Looks phenomenal. Again, we get a little bit of a smoke effect on the side, but then everything is doing that bokeh effect where it's blurred in the back, but we get nice and focus on our subject. That looks fantastic. It looks phenomenal. Looks phenomenal here. Of course, you got Magneto, you got Magnus. And what does Magnus come with? A little crushed metal object. We get his magnetism powers. Looks like a tentacle from maybe a Sentinel. He looks phenomenal. However, here's the question, guys. Here's the question. Do I go for Cyclops, or do I go for animated Spider-Man Peter Parker? We get these webbing effects. We get these alternate hands. We get his camera that is webbed up to the wall. We get these wall webbings. We get him where he can hold his mask, and we get the civilian head and the animated series Spider-Man head. You guys know I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I mean this is the 90s Spidey. This is the animated series. I mean, how good does that look? That looks so freaking good. So guys, please let me know in the comment section below. Let me know in the chat, what are your thoughts? Should I shift and get Spider-Man? Again, this is a pre-order. I'm trying to see where it says where or when it ships. I'll probably have to do a little bit of research. Oh, we got Sabretooth. We got Venom. 245. Let's take a look at that. Venom's a little bit bigger. We got him holding Spider-Man's mask. We get Eddie Brock. We get the webbing effects here. I mean, I can't sit here and say that it's not worth the cost. I can't. I literally, I cannot sit here and say that. Okay, this is not a pre-order, so I could get Batman. And I love Batman, the animated series. You guys don't know. Kevin Conroy, whenever I read a Batman story or Batman comics, I hear Conroy's voice in my head. It's just a thing, guys. But take a look at this. Oh, excuse me. We get Batman kind of doing a little grin. We get the Heart of Silicone episode, where we get the head, where he was Cyborg that thought he was the real Bruce Wayne. I actually have a statue of him. Let me grab it. See if I can switch this over. Hold on. Let's hide this. So I literally do have them. Let me see if I can rotate this around. So I do have the statue for him. He's a little dusty. So that is the same one. Animated series breather right here. Civilian head. I mean, hell, they got everything here. We got batarangs, multiple hands. We got the grappler. A spray. We got grappler by itself. Obviously, this is part of his stand. And again, he's cell shaded. And his eyes glow in the dark, guys. His eyes glow in the dark. Dre, which one do you need? Dre says, I need that. Which one do you need? Do you need Batman? And the Joker looks friggin' phenomenal. I mean, we could spend all night looking at these. The Phantasm for $190. Phantasm comes with the Joker acid on the Phantasm's blade weapon. We get the little mist coming off the hand. So not as many accessories, but they do the price point down to $190. So that makes sense. Harley. Get Bane. Hell, they got 1/6 scale, the Thing, McCready. And he looks good. He looks legit good, man. I can't say. Batman 1/6 scale. I asked my wife to get me that. Well, can she get me one? No, I'm kidding. I mean, you get the fire effect. He really does look like Russell there, man. Jesus. Jesus, man. Forget NECA, man. 1/6 scale, and he looks fantastic. And those look soft goods. Those look soft goods, so he might be a mixture of both. We get Doom. We get Megan. Here we go. We got Cyclops again. I don't see Wolverine, but we have Sabretooth. Jesus, man. Oh. But see, that's my dilemma. Do I get Cyclops? Do I get Spider-Man? Or do I get Batman? Too bad this is sold out. Well, the one I really wanted, guys. Dre knows which one I really, really, really wanted. Oh, here we go. The 1/6 scale Logan. Of course, this is sold out. Logan in his civilian clothes. They did a damn good job right there. Damn. $101. I can't wait to get him. He's only going to be a 1/12 scale, but still. Now that I have a 1/6 scale, I'm at ease. I feel comfortable. I feel relaxed. I don't have any apprehension right now. But the one I really wanted. The one I really wanted, guys. I really wanted Terry McGinnis. I already submitted the email the day I missed it. You know, in hopes of a restock. This is what I really wanted. I love Batman, but Batman Beyond hits a special place for me. Batman Beyond just hits a level that I can't explain. It was just one of those. It was one of those shows that just it gravitated towards me. I felt like I was Terry McGinnis. I felt like I was going along for the ride, and it was just awesome. We get the blast effect from Mr. Freeze's gun. We get the rockets for his boots. We get the claw hands. We get the regular hands as if he's holding something. We get his mask. We get his version of the grappler. We get the kind of the iced out, electrified batarang. We get his two regular batarangs. We get the claw cutter batarang right there. We get a battle damage hood or mask. We get kind of a grin. We got you know, he's just ready to just fight, like he's angry. And then we also get a smiling Batman. And of course, we get the civilian head right there. We get these wings, but then we also get these wings right here. There's so much in here. $225 is definitely worth it, but damn, Gambit is a total home run. I don't care who you are. He is a total home run, guys. By the way, guys, I want to thank everyone who came out to the stream tonight. Again, please share this to all your collective friends. I want everyone's opinions, thoughts on this Gambit. If they happen to have it, I would love to hear. But guys, we're going to cut the stream a little short tonight. I know I started a bit late tonight. We started at 9 o'clock instead of our usual 8 o'clock time. I was trying to do something a little different. We didn't get that many here tonight, but guys, please, I hope the replay squad hits this. And please, if you do, let me know if you're part of the replay squad. Let me know in the comments section below. #replay. Let me know, guys. And if you have a Mondo figure, what was your first Mondo figure? And what is your favorite Mondo figure? Right now, it's one and the same as Gambit. They friggin' killed this Gambit like there was no tomorrow. Unlike they did in X-Men 97. But guys, I want to thank everyone for coming through. Due to some recent changes recently, or should I say some recent trends, in 2025 we may be changing things quite a bit with the channel. It has to do somewhat with some of the trends in the toy tuber community right now. We'll see what happens. I still hope to do these streams for Tuesday nights, but we may be changing things up quite a bit. I may be trying to do some activity on Twitch, but I may still be on YouTube. We're looking at a few different things. If anyone has any criticisms, any suggestions, comments, any thoughts whatsoever, please, you guys know how to reach me. You can always message me on Instagram at Daves_Dimension or email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com. As we saw tonight, we didn't get a whole lot of people here tonight. I know Tuesday nights are becoming more and more crowded, and I'm having to reevaluate a few things about the channel, about the Dimension. But I am looking at possibly doing some game streams, but apparently YouTube is not the place really to do majority of game streams. There are a lot of people who have very steady flows of game streams, but many of my friends who do game streams, I don't want to take away from them. So instead of being on YouTube, I may attempt to try and do some Twitch streams to see how it goes. It's something I'm looking at. I have a few games in mind, but we'll see what happens, guys. But guys, again, I want to thank everyone who's been supporting the channel for all these years. Years. It's going to be, 5 years in the spring? In March, I think. But as of late, some of the negativity forced me to kind of step out of my normal spot. And I don't like how that makes me feel. YouTube, you shouldn't have to go down a negative route. You shouldn't have to, come off as, I'm trying to think of a better way, a better term, to not come off as a jerk in order to get views. And this isn't aimed at one specific channel. This is aimed at several channels. There are several channels out there that I've noticed have become kind of, I guess, more negative driven because they feel that that's the way to get response. I get that negativity, that conflict grabs attention of people, and that's not going to be me. A few weeks ago, I stepped out and I made a stance, and I still stand by that, by the way, because that's how I felt. And everyone has a right to say how they feel, to put their thoughts and their concerns and their frustrations out there. But I had to step out there and I had to put myself out. That's what I did. And I'm proud of myself for doing so. And I still will do that again. But I did what I had to do because I felt it was necessary at the time. But there are some channels that have completely devoted themselves to that. And I say channels plural. Plural. Okay? I'm talking there are at least a good 10, 20, maybe even 30 different channels out there that have gone down this route. Or channels that have become more click-oriented. Where if you're not a part of their inner circle, you don't mean anything. You know, unless you're a paid member, a paid subscriber, or if you're not dropping super chats to them. It seems like it's very... This isn't what YouTube should be about. YouTube should be for everyone. YouTube should be, hey, if you like hockey, talk hockey. If you hated this movie, hey, you can air your own reviews of a movie, and that's what's up. Hey, Nerd Affiliated, you missed it. We were talking Mondo. Let me just remove this. Oh, let's take care of this first. I highly recommend getting Gambit. I highly recommend getting Gambit. But I was just talking about just now that in 2025, there's several YouTubers who you might see changes with their channels. I am one of those people considering that due to the fact that there's been a lot of negativity out there in the YouTube space. And a lot of clickiness as far as groups. So next year I may be, Tuesday Night Talks might go away, or I might go to a different night. But I am also looking at doing content on other platforms, or changing the channel itself entirely. We'll see what happens. But this figure is amazing. I mean, you can see there you get the Tide box from the Thieves. We get some Genosha Mutant Dampening Power Collars. We get a charged up card right there. This energy effect right here is freaking phenomenal. This is my first Mondo figure, by the way, Archer. If you never had a Mondo figure before, I was worried that it could break easily. I've seen figures like NECA break easily. With him, you don't feel that. He is a chunky boy, too. He's got some heft. He's got some weight to him. Why? He says, why? You've been consistent with your lives. I have been consistent with my lives. But even tonight, we only had, I think we consistently had maybe 3 or 4 people watching throughout from 9 o'clock up until now. And trust me, I appreciate Ultra Carzilla. I appreciate Creativity. I appreciate Nerd Affiliated. I appreciate Dre. I appreciate Mega Demon. David. I appreciate all you guys. The 4 or 5 of you guys that came through. How's it? Yeah, he feels like he's got some heft to him, and you won't have any worry about bending his joints around. He's nice and solid. There's no toe bend, but he is solid. And take a look at cell shading here. They cracked the damn code on cell shading. I think Mondo could teach Hasbro a thing or two about cell shading. He looks fantastic. He looks phenomenal. Not just does he look phenomenal, we get cell shading on his bow staff. Let me see if I can see right there. We get some cell shading on the staff. The stand could be better. I think getting a better stand would help. We get some effects like this where he's shooting his cards from one hand to the other. We get another hand with a deck of cards. And guess what? These are Mondo cards. We get a whole host of hands. We get civilian Remy LeBeau with this little ponytail in the back. We get a more stern, pissed off looking Gambit. And of course I have smiling Gambit on there right now. But this figure, this is a home run. I was totally nervous about getting him, especially at 1/6 scale. I was really nervous, really worried. Like, oh, what if this breaks in my hands? Or, what if he comes in damaged? I had a whole host of worries. All gone. All friggin' gone. And by the way, when Mondo ships their figures, apparently, well, at least with him, when they shipped him, inside the shipper, we had these holding each corner of the box. It was on each corner of the box inside the shipper, keeping it intact. I cannot say enough. I cannot say enough about that. That's something we don't see with 3.0. It's something we don't see with Hot Toys. I mean, this is cheap bendable plastic, but they, I almost hit myself with that. Cheap bendable plastic, but it fit on the box. As soon as I opened up the box, these were already on there. Who does that? Mondo does. So right now, Jesus, Mondo has made me a fan. We were just looking at some shouldn't say Hot Toys, but 1/6 scale Mondo figures that I'm tempted to get. Like, obviously, Batman Beyond I would love to have if he ever comes back into stock, or if another retailer has some of him in stock. Been looking at Cyclops, Spider-Man, animated series. But, of course, also thinking about Bats. This Bats looks really awesome. But, yeah, so, guys, I'm of the mindset that I'm looking at making changes for 2025. I don't know if they will actually be implemented or not. It's just that lately, I've just been seeing so much negativity, and YouTube should not be about negativity. There should be enough room for everybody. But me and a few other people, we noticed that there's cliques, there's groups. And, you know, some of those groups are trying to push other people out. They're trying to drown them out. I could sit here all night and I can name a bunch of groups here. I can name a bunch of YouTubers. But that's not gonna solve anything. It's not gonna change their attitudes. I did speak out a couple weeks ago on a YouTuber. But that was my personal choice. I said my piece, I spoke my thoughts, and that's that. Nothing more needs to be said about that. But you know what? It's after all these years, it's going to be almost 5 years. I'm just thinking, what do I need to do? I've been getting close to goals that I never thought I would even have to begin with. I love doing YouTube. I love, partnering with other YouTubers. Like when Archer pops up on a stream, or we get Dre or EC Collecting. There's a lot of people that I love collaborating with. But obviously, life gets in the way of that sometimes. Sometimes, you can't always do streams with your friends, with the people you get along with. And, it's kind of that mindset, well, I have to see what else I can do. And I know one of the big problems is this channel does too much. YouTube is essentially, its algorithm is you have to have a niche, and you kind of have to stick with it. You have to pick a lane, and you have to stick in that lane. My problem is, I don't stick in any lanes. I love movies. I love technology. I love collecting. I love talking and discussing things with people. I have so many damn interests that's why this channel has so many damn interests. Plain and simple. I have so many interests, and I figured my YouTube channel should reflect me. I shouldn't have to create 2 or 3 different channels just because I have 2 or 3 main different niches, 2 or 3 major subjects that I love to discuss. But according to YouTube, that's kind of what you have to do. So maybe in 2025, I will cut things down to one specific subject matter, one specific niche, and maybe I'll stick to that. Or maybe I will look at, Kick? Or maybe I'll look at Twitch. I've been wanting to get into gaming again because I love just having fun playing games with friends. But it seems like YouTube isn't necessarily always the place for that because there's so many different so many different video game tubers out there. A lot of our friends in the toy community do game streams all the time. So, I don't want to take away from them. So, my only option is going to be to possibly step away from YouTube and maybe go over to Twitch or go over to Kick or look at other social medias that we can stream on and try to build a following there. That's the plain and simple of it all. And honestly, if anyone out there has suggestions, or if anyone has any ideas, or you have some genuine thoughts on what you think I might need to do to try and shift or pivot to pivot things around, let me know. You guys know how to reach me, davesdimension78@gmail.com, and of course, Dave's Dimension, Dave's_Dimension on Instagram. And your boy's making tons of 3D printing stuff right now. I just made these mega minifigs for a few of my wife's coworkers. Go Bills, go Bills. You know how we do it. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, Archer. I've been trying to make content, but the truth of it all is when I make videos, if I'm lucky, if I get maybe 17 or 20 views. Yes, this channel has legitimate a lot of subscribers, but they're not returning subscribers. They're people who have watched a couple videos, maybe one or two videos, and they really they enjoyed it so much that they subscribed to the channel, but they're not returning to the channel. And that's my problem. My problem is that people are not returning to the channel. That's the big problem. That's what we're facing. That's the cold hard truth of it all. Is that, I mean, hell, I'll go to YouTube Studio right now. I'll show you guys. We have 2,580 subscribers. I am beyond blown away and proud of that number. But the fact of the matter is, they're not returning subscribers. I wish 2,500, hell, even if half of those people, half of those subscribers were watching the content I put out, we would be monetized. We would be, I mean, and honestly, do I have any delusions of grandeur that I could do this full time? No. No, I don't. It would be nice to kind of be to the point where I can say I'm monetized. Because this past year, fundraising has been the worst year yet. Jerry and I tried to do the school lunch fundraiser. We had maybe 2 people enter. 2 people enter. And last year, I think we had maybe 70 or 80 people, maybe. We had 70 or 80 entries, donations made for the school lunch fundraiser. Ride for Roswell, we had the worst numbers ever this year. And I think is me and with what I do with the channel. So I've said this before, that this year when it comes to Ride for Roswell, I will be doing some different type of fundraising. So I'm at that point where I have to reevaluate where we are and what we're doing. I mean, yes, I got here. Last week when we talked about the HasLab being backed, we got 42 views, which I love. I love that personally. Okay, when it comes to the lives, tonight we had 20 views tonight. Great. Last week, even though that one showed only 42, here we have 62 views. When Dre and I collaborated for a one night of our top 5s of 2024, we had 69 views. When I had that stream where I had to clear the air about a few things, we had a lot of views there, but that was content out of negativity. That showed that yes, negativity can bring views, but that's not what I'm about. I am not about that. I had strong feelings that I needed to do, and that's what I did. And I even age restricted that stream, by the way. That was my own personal. That was my choice to do that before the stream aired, because I was gonna voice and use language that is not appropriate for the young ones. The week before, are there parts of Hasbro that want to fail? Again, kind of a negative themed stream, 94 views. We were talking the fundraisers, HasLabs. Some of that was some mixed negativity, 81 views. Then, right before that, will the HasLab roll out or fail? 51 views. Hasbro Pulse, 73. So these were kind of generating more views than average, right? HasLab Tuesday Night Talks, GB HasLab leaked when we got the sneak peeks, 115 views. Before that, 55, 39, 64, 64, 39. So, I mean, there's been streams that have done abysmal, that have And it seems like it's trickling down. I mean, we only had 20 views tonight. Now, excuses could be, we could sit here, we can come up with reasons as to why that's happening. Oh, it's the holidays. Oh, it's, it doesn't cost anything to sit down and watch a idiot for about a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. But this time of year I tend to get a bit negative about my own self. And I have good reasons why, and they're personal reasons. Few people know what they are. Has nothing to do with YouTube. It has to do with just life in general. But I'm at the point where I have to say, okay, what do I need to do? I don't drop 3 or 4 videos a week like I used to. And even then, those are videos that were only getting 5 or 10, maybe 5, 10, maybe 20 views out of each video. But also, when you do that, when you're spending the time to make those videos, one, you're taking time away from your significant other, from your families, from your lives, from your life itself. You take away from that. You're also spending money. Hey, I'm going to pre-order this, I'm going to get this, I'm going to go on these toy hunts. Not everybody can afford to do that. This is one of those years where I cannot afford to do toy hunts, where I cannot really afford to go out and do this and do this and do that and do that. Yes, I did order a 1/6 scale Gambit, but you know what? I also sold a bunch of stuff. I've been 3D printing on the side, trying to make props and selling them. Okay? My wife's coworkers saw when I could print one of these, and a couple of them wanted it. So that is something I'm doing on the side now. So the content is, right now, my content is these Tuesday Night Lives. But it seems like, for some reason, some of the clicks in the community have drifted away, and it is what it is. So this is Dave's Dimension saying that, we're going to have to reevaluate things. Who knows? We'll see what happens with next week. We'll see, if there's a stream, and if there is, we'll see who shows up for it, There's a few video games that I would love to do. I want to do some live video game streams with a few people, but we'll see what happens. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Archer says, you have 12,000 views in the last 28 days. Well, see, that's the thing. It's counting shorts. And I have one short that has been outperforming all the other shorts for the past couple of years. I have a short from Ghostbusters Day the first year, when an Ecto-1 replica peeled out of the front of the firehouse. That thing still performs like there's nobody's business. Okay? So, I mean, yes, there are views, but they don't add up, sadly. They really don't. Because, here, I'm at 2,580 watch hours. At one point, I was only 300 watch hours away from being monetized. And about a year ago, there were some clicky groups that decided to go against me and a few other YouTubers. And, that hit us pretty bad. So right now, I'm trying to do what I can. Yeah, the 12.4, and I have almost 200 watch hours in the past 28 days. I appreciate Archer saying that. I think you should continue doing what you're doing. I also struggle to make pre-recorded videos, but it's fun talking to everyone. You can do it. And that's the thing. I'll be perfectly honest. I love doing this. I love talking with you guys, interacting with you guys. But like earlier tonight, when I started the stream, we had a couple people talk in the chat, but then it was crickets in the chat. One of my favorite things to do is to bounce off of someone else. When Dre and I were doing the Collector Safe Space, the Outer Dimensions podcast, we were constantly discussing movies. It's great when you're bouncing off someone else, and that's why I always throw a link into the description for people to hop on. But that's happening less and less, but I get that there's so many different channels out there, and as a creator, you might be trying to say, hey, I want I want to support this person, this person, this person, but you can only stretch yourself out so far. So, but I want to thank everyone for popping through tonight. I want to thank everyone for their thoughts. It's just this time of year tends to hit a certain kind of way. You ran up against Skeleton Crew premiering at 9 p.m. Eastern, so it's not completely your fault. Here's the thing: we can sit there and say that. Okay. Last week, let's take a look at last week's content. Okay, last week's stream, we had, let's go back to lives. Last week I had 62 people last week. Skeleton Crew was out last week too. So, I appreciate the thought, but here's the thing. I have to figure out what I need to do. In life, we're always changing. We're never the same person we were when we were 5 years old. We were never the same person we were when we were 10 years old, 15 years old. Dre, I will check my messages very shortly. We're always changing. And that's the thing. You're always changing in life. You're never the same person you were when you first started out. Whether you're better, whether you're worse. You're always changing, okay? But you just have to remember who you were. And then changing is a good thing. Okay, to paraphrase the 11th Doctor, let me see if I can actually pull that up. I'm a big Doctor Who nerd. Okay. His regeneration speech was, let's see here, let me pull that up. We all change when you think about it. We're all different people. Actually, let me throw this right up here. Okay? So right here, we all change when you think about it. We're all different people. All of our lives, and that's okay. That's good. You've got to keep moving so long as you remember all the people that you used to be. I will not forget one line of this, not one day. I swear, I will always remember when the Doctor was me. That's one of the most truest things I think I've ever heard in my life. We change, and this channel will have to change too. Anyone who makes content out there, your channels, your websites are always evolving and changing. That can be said about every single one of our channels, every single one of our shows. Sometimes a show collapses and you partner up and you start new ones. You know, a lot of people have done it. I've seen some YouTubers out there who've partnered up with 4 or 5 different people throughout the course of a single year. But it is what it is. But, you know, we'll see what happens with the Dimension. I mean, there is a couple projects that I want to do that will be pre-recorded videos. I'm actually considering opening up this Ecto. This is a Hasbro Kenner reissue Ecto. And I'm actually thinking of painting it. Doing some painting mods on this and seeing, you know, what I can do with it. I might just mess it up, but I might actually make it look pretty damn awesome. So we'll have to see. This is going to be something we'll be working on in the future, whether people watch it or not. Obviously, we're doing 3D printing here. I'm going to be doing a room tour once I have the room completely fixed. As you can see, I have the proton packs on display right now. So we'll see what happens. But guys, until next time, you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time, and I will always keep saying it. Keep on busting, and you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care, guys.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly. Thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show 'em what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm